How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Cracked Open Games and Toys. Today, since we're getting close to the release of the remaster of Final Fantasy Tactics, we'll be taking a look at the original copy for PS1. If you joined me off the short that I did for this, thanks for coming along and taking a more extensive look at the game. We'll be checking out the manual or the guide back here, as well as the more in-depth look at the instruction manual too. And I've just got the PSP copy of the game running back on my Vita there, so we can have that in the background while we're talking about the game. So yeah, here's the front cover of the game and the back. And we'll go ahead and take a little bit deeper look at the insides and the instruction manual. Just for those that didn't join me on the short, here's a look at the case and everything. The original CG artwork from that opening scene. Here's a look at the disc. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the manual. I know I just went over this briefly in the short, but it's a little easier to cover in the wide format here. And yeah, just a black and white manual for this one. Alright, there's the manual. They were also including a lot of these games on demo discs back then too. Some of the double-sided games had demo discs included with them, so those are typically the games you would find on there. I think the Brave Fencer Musashi was on those some of those demo discs as well. Alright, we'll be right back in a second and take a look at the guide. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the guide. This is another one I picked up back in my high school days working at Blockbuster. I cannot remember if I actually paid for this, probably at a discounted price, or if it was another one that was in the free bin. Let's move this stuff back just a little bit. But this guide, I think, was better than the Brady Games one for Final Fantasy VII. Alright, just wanted to zoom out a little bit so I can give you guys a full shot of the guide while we go through page by page. And yeah, this guide, I believe, was quite a bit better than the Brady Games Final Fantasy VII one. I can't remember if I had to use this a lot going through them. Yeah, nice printed color pages and everything, really well laid out. But I think there were a few places in this where I got stuck and had to do like some power leveling and stuff. And if I remember right, this does take you through quite a bit of what to do in those sections, so yeah. Nice full color. Sorry if my hand's blocking some of it, I'll try to get it all in the frame there. And you know, if you're playing the new one, you can kind of just use this as a reference. If you need to look at anything there, just feel free to pause. And I haven't played this game in a very long time, probably since it originally came out back in '98, I think it was. So yeah, that would have been my senior year in high school. We got to play Final Fantasy Tactics. but I do remember playing through it all back then. I was more into the Street Fighter scene at that time, but I did still play quite a few of these RPGs and collect them back then with the little money I was making at the rental store. But yeah, I'm going to be picking up a overhead camera mount so I can hopefully give you guys better shots of... I'll do some art books and stuff in the future too, so give you guys a better shot of all that stuff. And yeah, sorry if there's any spoilers or whatnot in here. This is, you know, this is almost a 20-year-old game now. If you're new, I'm sorry, but you know, here's the guide for you, so you don't have to pay for one. And we'll do that for any game upcoming that I have a guide for. I'll just go through page by page, so you guys can check it out and pause if you need to. Surprisingly, at least from what I remember, my inner circle of friends back then, there weren't a lot of people that were interested in this game when it initially came out. And I know it's got, like, you know, critical acclaim and stuff now, but a lot of people were interested in Final Fantasy VII. That hype went way up for that game because a bunch of people had already finished playing Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy III on Super Nintendo, and there was a few year gap in between those games. And yeah, there was a lot of hype for Final Fantasy VII, but I think it was the graphical style of this game. People saw what they were doing with Final Fantasy VII, and then it went back to the, you know, the pixel stylings for tactics, and it just seemed like the interest kind of died off at that point. And I know it's gotten a lot of renown, I guess, over, you know, the past 20 years, and it's awesome that we're getting a remastered version of it coming out next week. But yeah, I just remember that back, you know, 20 years ago, there was, I don't know if it was just my group of friends or whatnot that didn't play a lot of these games. I'd just gotten done playing Vandal Hearts, which was freaking amazing, and we'll do a video on that game too. It's still in my collection. But yeah, Vandal Hearts was just insane, and anticipating like we're getting a Final Fantasy like tactics style game too after playing Vandal Hearts. Like, all right, bring it on. That's awesome. So yeah, this game, I don't know, I had really high hopes for it that would be as good, if not better than Vandal Hearts. And the job system was amazing. I thought all that experience and leveling was really cool. And like I'm going through right now, there's a lot of detail, way more than the instruction booklet on all the different jobs and everything that you can pick up. But yeah, Vandal Hearts was, you know, if you haven't played that game, the kind of the big thing about that game was the amount of blood they threw into it for a 2D style, you know, pixel art style tactics game. And man, it seemed like anytime you touch anybody in that game there, anytime you finish somebody off, there were just, you know, just mounds of blood that would come leaking off of them, which was cool, you know, seeing that as a teenager. You're like, oh, this game was awesome. But yeah, that's what kind of got me pumped up for Final Fantasy Tactics, was just seeing how cool Vandal Hearts was. So that was my introduction to like tactics style games. I did not really play, I don't remember if there was anything on Super Nintendo before that I would have played. No, I think Vandal Hearts was my first tactics style game, and then this one, Final Fantasy Tactics. So yeah, guys, that's been a look at Final Fantasy Tactics on the PS1, and that, again, if I didn't say that earlier, that is just the PSP version that's been playing in the background there, which is also a really good version. If you don't pick up this new one, the War of the Lions one for PSP is also very, very good. Alright guys, so yeah, that's been a look at Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1. Thank you for joining me for this video today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching today. Take care and have fun.